Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Transylvania and welcome to Sovata, an absolutely beautiful location tucked away in the hills, a place that people go for a spa, to go and soak in the lake and enjoy the very, very fresh and clean air and beautiful scenery. But the competition was hot and exciting, and with Tim van Hemel desperately hoping to try and salvage from his race another title, coming here as the defending double title with cross triathlon and cross duathlon behind him. His first race with the cross triathlon didn't work out very well for him. So here he is to try and get on the podium, but he will be up against the young pretender Arthur Serrier from France, and of course Emilio Martin, as well as the youngster from Austria, Andreas Silberbauer, who has performed very well so far this week. The conditions were not easy at all. It was 34 degrees and rising, and it's very, very humid out in the forest. The courses were described as probably one of the toughest we've had so far on the European circuit. A 2-lap 7k run would start them off, with 20.4k on the bike, 4 laps to finish with a 3.5k last lap. The initial section was on the road. We have a pre-start line this time, so the line behind which they stand is the pre-start line. When they're under starters' orders, you'll hear them giving the order for take your marks, at which point the athletes will take a step forward and then go. It does look like a false start, but if you look carefully on the ground, you'll see those two lines. So, along the road they will run, then they disappear under the cover of the trees for some very, very tough running on a mixed surface of packed forest paths, out onto the pavement again, and then between the light and the dark, into the forest, out into the sunlight. Very, very tough racing indeed. We're mixing together the elite and the under-23 athletes. This is going to make the racing a little bit more exciting, because some of the under-23s have made it very clear they were there to try and beat as many of the elite athletes as possible. Who are we going to watch out for? Well, Palici there on the right, the Romanian athlete, immensely strong and with a lot of home support. Tim van Hemel from Belgium, of course, we want to see how he gets on. Arthur Serrier, who was going to go home after the duathlon when his chain snapped, but we managed to persuade him to stay on just that little bit longer to race. Emilio Martin, who, well, he had a fairly bad race and would like to definitely get on that podium. With the athletes almost ready, the officials are getting in position. You'll hear the heartbeats in a moment. That means about 5 seconds of heartbeat and then silence. See that little step forward, and Tim van Hemel, desperately wanting to make his mark on the race, goes straight to the front of the pack. There'll be a few testing sprints as they go into the forest, just to see who's feeling strong and feeling good, with the Italians going to the front, taking along with them Arthur Serrier. There we see as well behind him Tim van Hemel. But very soon the pack rejoins, and as they run through the twisting, turning paths within the woods, we see a whole group of athletes together. And within that group will be our medal winners. A very complicated mix of pavement, off course, jumping over tree roots, under the trees, around, in the dark, in the light. It was a very good course, and people realised that if you didn't treat that first run with respect, it would come back and bite seriously on the final 3.5k loop. While the men were huffing and puffing out on the course, it was a chance to introduce the elite and the under-23 women. We were going to have a bit of a battle in this race, because we had the two athletes, Sandra Meyerhofer and Eleonora Peroncini from Italy. Peroncini managed to get the edge on Meyerhofer, taking the silver ahead of Meyerhofer with the bronze. Would this change at all at the cross duathlon? But all of them were looking at Morgan Rioux from France, who so confidently and comprehensively won the race on the first day of competition.
On your mark.
There again you could see a bit of hesitation, but that's a pre-start line causing a little bit of confusion for the athletes. Within the group there you see Sofia Prima racing in the under-23 category from Ukraine. She has been racing every weekend for the past 3 weeks and is very tired, but she's still there, digging in deep. Yulia Surikova from Russia. She's been a world and European winter triathlon champion. But now she's racing here in the temperatures up to 34 degrees. So back to the men, and at the front, Andrea Silberbauer's looking very strong. Rinaldi and Rodolfi from Italy also well placed. Puertas from Spain, ahead of the legend Martin. Now, some of them, these steps are not regular, so trying to get a rhythm as you run down them was very difficult. The athletes said that some of them much preferred the course on the right-hand side, or as you're looking at it on the left, but the others preferred the steps because they were guaranteed that the surface would be non-slippery. But right at the very start, Arthur Sarrier decides that he's going to make his mark on the race. A late decision to not travel back to France. Is that going to be in his favour? Pellicci holding the leaders in sight there. And just making sure that the athletes don't make any mistake as they complete their first lap. So a nice bit of downhill before they have to go up into the trees, jumping over the tree roots. Past the crowd supporting them. Van Hemel well placed. As you can see, the dust is kicking up in the forest, making it rather difficult to breathe in there. Silberbauer, Rinaldi or Rodolfi. I'm not sure which one that was. I think it was possibly Rinaldi. So 1 lap down, 1 lap to go. A total of 7 kilometres on that first run. And the beauty of these cross events, the athletes can choose their line as they run up the hills. The organisers have made this course as wide as possible, but then as technical as possible as well. And out in the forest we have a littering zone for the drinks. All of the athletes had their bottles provided with sealed lids. Doping controls in force. And just like we had on the downtown race, the littering zone is about 20 metres. Let's get you over the timing map first. The littering zone is about 20 metres before the start of the aid station and 80 metres afterwards. One athlete decides that really is a bit too much today. The pace is too high, the humidity and the heat is far too much. The Russian athlete Daria Rogozina has broken away from Laura Gomez from Spain. Where is Morgan Rieu? But behind we see the younger athlete Marta Mendito, and here at the front of the women's race we now see, heading down towards the end of the first lap, Morgan Rieu from France, with Daria Rogozina just behind her. Rieu has really taken the cross triathlon world by storm. Racing in France for the military. It's not just athletics that she's into. She's also a fully qualified scientist, a PhD in neurobiology. Shurikova just on the shoulders there of Sandra Meyerhofer. Peroncini just behind. And all the way from Mexico we have Corona. Unable to race in Pontevedra this year, the Mexican Federation decided they would enter them into this race here. 2 of the athletes, all the way from Mexico, had a great welcome in downtown Transylvania for the opening ceremony, and here they are having a great race. Here she is, in fact, having a great race in the woods of Transylvania. And that pace really proving a little bit too hard for Velisek from the Czech Republic, under 23. The athletes mixing together at this level, it's good, but if they go off too fast and try to attack, sometimes they have to pay for that price later. So, Serrier, Rinaldi, Tim van Hemel, Bjerings from Belgium. Nice group at the front, keeping an eye on each other. Now, here they come, a run down the side of transition, making sure that the flow through the transition area is equal for everybody. As they leave transition, they have to ride about 3 meters, then straight up a curve before they start going uphill. And first out, Arthur Sevier. Rinaldi just behind him. Van Hemel taking his time with Bjerrinks just behind. And there is that climb. Nice and easy on paving slabs, but then they go uphill.
Are 36 de secunde handicap față de locul 4. Viorel Palic vine în zona de tranzit și începe imediat
Silva
Haide Viorel, hai!
Towards the front of the helmet on.
Daniel Otile.
And off he goes. Puertas is ahead of Martin. Alicia from Romania. With Rodolfi.
Now the bike and out. Spanish Puertas.
So now that climb. But look at this. Immense power there from Rodolfi.
The Russian Karakatov. It's on the way out now. The Dutch Klinger.
Bogdan Damian este și el în grupul care a sosit acum în zona de tranzit. Haide Bogdan, haide!
Getting the right gear on that first attack is really important. Having to get off the bike that early in the race, not good. All around the course, there were pockets of supporters giving so many cheers, shouts, and encouragement to the athletes. It was a wonderful atmosphere out there. This bike course, 4 laps, 20.4 kilometers, would test the very best. So there goes the legend, Martin, way down the pack.
Rushes from Slovakia is out.
Sobočkovac din România ajunge și el în zona de tranzit. Bjerrinks, haide!
No, the Hungarian athlete has already fallen over out in the woods. We need some patching up later from the medical team. As you can see, from racing under the cover of the trees, suddenly they're in the full exposure of the sunshine. All the way up and then very fast on the way down. We did have some thrills and spills with one athlete unfortunately going home with a broken pelvis. Not in the elite race, that was an age group racer. It's not meant to be easy. A tremendous mixture of road surfaces. So with the men almost having completed 2 laps, transition area almost empty, we could be anticipating somebody in swimming trunks walking through the middle of the course. Oh, bit of a mistake there. We can be anticipating very soon the start of the women coming into T2. I beg your pardon, into T1. Having climbed right up to the very highest point, they then drop down to complete the first lap. And the first lap for the members completed just in time for Morgan Riel from France to be followed into transition by Daria Rogojina and Gomez from Spain, just behind Mendito from Italy. desperately trying to keep on the extra water. The technical team allowed the coaches to have an additional coaches area so that more water could be handed out to the athletes.
Under 23 woman.
So, Ryu, I don't believe it, she's set off without her shoe. The shoe's come off, she's putting the shoe on as she's going uphill. Amazing. Rogozina behind. Gomez powering up the hill with Mendito just behind her. In the cross events, we're always allowing the athletes to draft each other. Puertas, no, the rear mecha's gone.
No.
Disaster for the Spanish athlete. We said about that very first climb, if you can't get that first climb right, it really is demoralizing. So on the climb there, it's all gone wrong. And yes, Shurikova is overtaken by Peroncini. Shurikova much better on the snow, it seems, these days. And now we have out onto the course Sofia Prima, the under-23 athlete from Ukraine, and Corona from Mexico, taking her time in a nice rhythm going up the hill, but no nice rhythm at all, no taking the time. Morgan Ryu is setting the pace. Behind her, Rogozina and Gomez from Spain. Dropping off the pace a little bit is Mendito. That's the way to do it. Our last athlete into transition from Italy later decides that it's a little bit too much for her and withdraws from the race. This is Peroncini, such a strong athlete, the world champion cross triathlete from Pontevedra. Behind her, Meyerhofer. Can Meyerhofer beat her on this course? Now on this mounting the curb, some athletes did it at tremendous pace. Some are a bit more cautious. And remarkably, all through the day, not one athlete crashed at this point. Although it was a close kiss. Bjerings from Belgium, wondering where the leaders have got to. Well, we heard from the technical officials that the heat was very, very intense out there. Many of them got through about 4 or 5 litres of fluids during the day. It'll be nice to find out from some of the coaches just how much liquid was drunk by these amazing athletes. Gatti in the under-23 category was supremely strong. Meyerhofer now. No, this isn't Meyerhofer. This is in fact the last athlete from Italy just before she pulled out of the race. Once again, our race leader for the women's competition is Morgan Ryu from France. Technically, she stood out. Van Hemel powering away, desperately trying to keep ahead, or at least in contact with Arthur Serrier.
From Mexico.
Arriba, arriba, arriba. Minutes.
We heard as Silberbauer went past, there was a bit of concern about his bike. The noise that was coming from the rear end of it was causing a few people to ask if everything was okay. Was he going to be able to complete this full 20.4k, or was he going to have a technical problem? One sheared off rear mech already. That was for the Spanish athlete Puertas. And Gomez beginning to suffer a bit with the bike. And from Romania, Vacaria, winter triathlon and summer triathlon. This is where Shurikova has decided to make it a day. A technical issue on the bike has taken her out of the race. Evgavrov from Russia. Lots of the athletes are crossing over between the winter and summer events. It's good to see that there's that same really friendly atmosphere between them. When you think some of these athletes are racing in temperatures that are down as far as -18, that's the bottom limit we go to in winter triathlon, and as far here as 35, 36 degrees. An incredible range of temperatures, and their bodies perform to that very high level. These are really superhuman athletes. Back to the front of the women's race, Morgan Ryu getting some encouragement from the supporters. Peroncini and Meyerhofer together. Serrier has now gone to the front of the race and is really powering away. At one point he and von Hemel were together, but where is Tim von Hemel? What's happened? Silberbauer with his creaky bike. Come on sponsors, let's get that sorted. There seemed to be a competition out in the forest. Who could make more noise, the Dutch, the Italians or the French, or the Romanian hosts? Rogozina leading the under-23 race ahead of Mendito. Corona and Prima battling there, but Arthur Serrier comes into transition, racking the bike, ready for the final run. Now that is some lead that the Frenchman has created. No technical issues this time, no broken chain such as he had in the cross triathlon. A good decision from him to stay on his own now, in the woods.
Managed to shrink the gap.
Into second place, Andreas Silberbauer. What a fantastic performance from the Austrian. And from transition, it's straight up the hill over the trees into the shade.
And Rinaldi's out.
So third place at the moment in the elite men's race is Rinaldi. Ridolfi.
Ridolfi's out. 4 minutes after the leader.
Grande, dai che corri bene così.
In the under-23 race there, Gatti and Yevgavrov. Yevgavrov from Russia is the defending champion from last year's win in Ibiza, but ahead of him is the reigning cross duathlon under-23 champion, who's looking to add this title to his collection. Will the Russian let the Italian get away with this? It's all down to the last 3.5 kilometers. Back to the front of the women's race, yep, Morgan Ryu, she's still there. When she was a student, she was a cross-country star, so we can expect to see her not giving up any pace at all on that final section of the run. And this athlete, this is a great performance there from Lucas van Dijnsen from Belgium.
Also he managed
Third place at the moment in the under 23 race.
The cycling.
Palic from Romania here, hearing the cheers and the support and encouragement. A bit of work to do, but he's going to be posting the fastest run split of the day for the final leg.
Van Deze joins the run and the music.
Meyerhofer now looking quite strong on the bike. Now the aid station is positioned just before the hill. And there's a whole army of volunteers under the trees making sure that all of the bottles were collected up afterwards, because we don't want to leave any trace of our event or spoil the countryside after we've gone.
Running shoes on. And Colin is out.
So Meyerhofer has put an enormous amount of distance between her and Peroncini. Could this be the chance for Meyerhofer to get that silver ahead of Peroncini? Change the results from the previous race.
Gatti.
Zasyci Bogdan Damian na zona de tranzycję. Fajny Bogdan.
Damian with the quick transition. He's out for the run for
So by now the spectators have worked out where the best places are to stand and support the athletes. Oh, look at that design on the uniform, the bat on the leg, wonderful. So Rogozina out on the course, looking strong in the lead of the under 23 category.
For the video, you make some scream, some noise.
Just encouraging the spectators there not to be so quiet. It is the European Championships. Let's have a bit of a party out there. Mendito now in second place in the under 23 category. Back in 2017, the cross triathlon and cross duathlon was located in the centre of Târgu, Mures, but it was decided to showcase Transylvania and have the main events in different locations. And I think we need to come back here to Sovata. Easily one of the best courses we've seen. And we spoke to Corona after the event as well. She couldn't believe how good it was out here and how tough. Emilio Martin, the great legend from Spain, way down the pack, but at least he's going to dig in and he'll do his best to finish. It's been a long and very hard week for him.
The bike laps. Russia. Alex Green from Netherlands.
So, Arthur Serrier from France, comfortably in the lead. In the background we can hear the wind beginning to pick up its intensity. It's been still all day. You can see the trees moving. Van Hemel, we now know, has pulled out of the race, having sheared the rear mech off his bike. Arthur Serrier can hear the shouts and the cheers, and he runs down the hill that final few meters as the finish line nearly collapses with a tremendously large gust of wind. But the organisers, with the volunteers, managed to put everything back in place just in time. And Arthur Serrier, such a disappointing race on the first day here, comes down to the finish line to take the finish tape, and the cheers from everybody. He's European champion. A good decision by him just to stay on those extra few days. After the race, Arthur said he'd never raced in temperatures as intense as this. The humidity and the heat together, and the very tough nature of the course. Silberbauer takes the silver. Bronze last year, silver here. Great result for the Austrian. And the bronze medal goes to Rinaldi from Italy, keeping the Italian medal tally really high. Now we see ahead of some of the big races the athlete chatter before the race. It's much more interesting to hear the athlete chatter after the race when they describe to each other the tough parts of the course.
Second, Daniel Silbermeier from Austria. And in the third position, Rinaldi. Congratulations, guys. From Italy, Tommaso.
Unbelievable. But I managed the pace on the first run. After on a bike team have some mechanical problem, so I ride alone. And on the last running part, I was just trying to don't much so much energy. And I am very happy to win here after my mechanical problem in cross triathlon. And I'm ready for extra friends on Sunday.
Okay, some words about the organization here, how it was.
It was very beautiful site, very good organization. On all the events, big organization. It's my third year here. I did the first European champ here and Xterra Romania, and each time I'm really happy to come back here. And I want to thank all the staff because he did an amazing job.
Out here from Belgium, Bjerings is just going down the hill, but unbeknown to him, look, he lowered with the shoulder, and he can see Palinci, who is so powerful. That sprint to the finish, Palinci gets the fastest run sprint of the day, but Bjerings just holds him off. Arthur Serrier saying thank you to the staff, the volunteers. A massive army of volunteers have supported these athletes in the elite and under 23 race, in fact for all of the races. Peter Klosch there, the president of the Triathlon Federation and main race director. That's him helping the athletes, there for every single one of them.
From Austria. And in the third
So there we have Morgan Ryu into transition number 2 for her. The final 3.5 kilometers. As a top cross-country specialist, it's not exactly a walk in the park, but it's pretty much close. She's in the lead. This is going to be her claiming the double title. Cross triathlon and cross triathlon. Behind her, now in the silver medal position and looking good for that silver medal, is Sandra Meyerhofer from Italy. And now claiming the silver medal is an under-23 athlete, Yevgavrov from Russia. And next to come across will be Van Dijnse from Belgium. The under-23 athletes, just 34 seconds separating them, 1, 2 and 3. In that under-23 category for the women, we just see Sofia Prima coming into transition.
We have the first 3 finishers in the under-23 mat category. Tommaso Gatti from
Incredible
Italy.
ability to race on successive weekends. Making very careful she doesn't touch the barrier as she goes around the corner. That would be a penalty. Well trained. She races on the main circuit of the ETU and the ITU events. The Dutch have had some very strong athletes this weekend, perhaps in preparation for Almere next year.
Alex Kring from Netherlands. From Russia, finished the race, Kirill Tarakov.
Emilio Martin making that final descent. The race is nearly over for him. Time to relax, time to evaluate, time to enjoy the hospitality of the Romanians. Coming into view now, the under-23 champion from 2017, Șobolj Kovac from Romania, lives in Târgu, Mures. Had trained extensively on the hills before the event and won it comfortably then. A tough day for him today. To the cheers of her supporters, Monica Sabin from Italy comes in. One of the oldest athletes on the circuit. No chance of her giving up.
And the approach for the finish to the finish line.
Incredible performance. Absolutely dominated the cross triathlon and from the very start at the cross duathlon. Morgan Ryu from France. Look at that. The French have managed to get the double. Male and female winners in the elite category. And there behind her is Chris Kitchen, the Vice President of the European Triathlon Union, also Chair of the Multisport Commission for ITU. And coming now to support her. We managed to find him and bring him into the finish area. Yeah, Arthur Serrier. We wanted that photograph of them together. And the silver medal goes to Sandra Meyerhofer from Italy. This is a really good result for her because that silver was so close on the cross triathlon. She ended up with bronze, and here she is now, having changed the result, upgraded to a silver.
Yes. Hi. Il y a le temps, ouais. C'est bon, tu vas mouiller.
Make some noise for the video!
So yeah, I'm very happy because it's a second title in 3 days for me here after the cross triathlon on Saturday. So I'm very happy. On the start it was the same girls as in the triathlon, but I knew that it will be very hard with the heat and with the climb here and run and bike. So on the first run, it was already hard, but I tried to push hard and I entered the transition first, and then I give everything on the bike on the 4 loop very hard with the climb in the heat. And I entered 82 with 2 minutes advance, but then the first run it was horrible. I almost couldn't run anymore, and yeah, it was very hard. Hopefully I had 2 minutes to keep calm, and I'm really very happy to finish the first day again. Yeah.
Okay, what makes the difference between the concurrents? How it's training, nutrition, or what is making the difference?
Yeah, I think today there was the Russian. The young Russian girl is very good in running, so she was hard to follow at the beginning. And then yeah, it's quite different because after the swim, the bike is easier. So then after the first run of 7 kilometers, it was very hard. Even if it's my specialty, the run today, I suffer a lot. And then yeah, the bike, the 20 kilometers was very hard. Yeah.
And the bronze medal goes to Italy's Peroncini.
Category also from Italy. Category also from Italy.
Leading the race in the under 23 category, it is Darina Rogozina, who is currently the reigning world and European winter triathlon champion. As soon as they cross the finish line, we get the athletes together for that 1, 2 and 3. Images are then sent around the world.
Welcome you from France, Sandra Meyerhofer from Italy, and Eleonora Peroncini, Italy.
You can never get enough of these photographs, can you? So there are the elite results, with Daria Rogozina 4th place in the elite race, but she's the winner in the under 23s. Nata Mendito, here she comes.
The second in the ETU under 23 women category from Italy, Marta Mendito.
So the silver medal goes to Italy. Again, the Italians very strong here with their cross athletes, collecting medals along the way.
Under 23.
Yeah.
Coming from Mexico, Adriana Fabiola.
And we spoke to Corona after the race. She said she thoroughly enjoyed her trip out here. Very glad she came. And the bronze medal once again goes to Sofia Prima from Ukraine. A bronze on the first race, the cross triathlon. A bronze again. Yeah, and no water. Here she is telling us about her race in Kiev when the temperatures hit 40 degrees.
My name is Sofia Prima. I'm from Ukraine, from Lviv. We come here to Transylvania European Championship. I think so 20 athletes. It's a very great races. Aquathlon, duathlon, cross duathlon, cross triathlon. It's very good organization, and in the cross duathlon race is very beautiful. And I hope that in this Romania Târgu Mures will be more competition. It's a very good organization.
Wonderful words of encouragement for the organisers. I'm sure that Peter Klosch and his whole team will welcome the few comments we heard there from Sofia Prima.
Hello.
One day over, another day over. The volunteers make their way home. A few hours sleep and they'll be back in position for the next race. Thank you, Silvata. You were absolutely beautiful. So, doesn't matter where the event is, the prize giving, the award ceremony always takes place in the medieval castle. That's the medieval castle that the athletes, the age groupers, the supporters, the team managers, they could only enter if they gave the password. The age groupers join together with the elites, the under-23s, the juniors and the paras for the award ceremony, the medals. Once again, Yuval Hetz, our host from Israel, was there to make sure the party atmosphere continued. The Knights of the Order of Wolves stood to attention, each one of them wearing a uniform of chainmail that weighs 24 kilos. Robert Tamirjan takes the gold medal once again in his category in the para-athletes.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the national anthem of Romania. And the gold medalist, the winner of this age group, Lars Holder, Germany. From Austria.
The party for each one of our award ceremonies has gone on way beyond the end. And look at this. Our oldest athletes once again enjoying the party atmosphere. And a tradition that we've started this year, in fact, in Kelly Gradeshti, and we've continued it through our championship races, is to get all of the medal winners on stage together.
I want to thank you, for you, Chris, and for the whole European Triathlon Union. Give us the trust to have the possibility to organize these European Championships. And if I have the microphone, I want to tell you I am very, very happy because after 3 days, today we have the Romanian attempt in our race. Our first gold medal is coming. Mersi, Robi, mulțumim, în sfârșit am auzit și în România. Puternic, Robi. Thank you, Chris.
I'm flying out tomorrow. I've had a brilliant time here. I hope you guys have. And I think the organisers deserve a huge round of applause for all they've done. And thank you all on behalf of ETU for all your support. It's great to see you all here.
So, 3 events down and a few more to go. The next event would be the standard duathlon up on the motor racing circuit. Good night, Târgu Mures. We'll see you again tomorrow.